take on where we think each player is on the field, and we are now at the defensive backs, and so we'll talk about both of the cornerback positions as well as the nickel back, and we'll start with so we've got obviously Jair Hill is our starting cornerback on the one side, and he is somebody that I think we can all agree he's earned his stripes. He is and has had to, obviously, with Will Johnson being out with turf toe, has had to kind of step up. I'm excited to see what he does in 2025, TJ.
Yeah, it's a big year for Jair Hill. I anticipate another big step for him. I mean, he's going to be our CB1. It's his time now. The way he played towards the end of the year, OSU, Alabama, etc., he's ready. He's going to be. I mean, he was playing all Big Ten caliber level towards the end of the year. I'm excited. It's Michigan is just pumping out exceptionally good corners, and I know we had a bit of a drought a few years ago. But since the championship on, the corners have just been superb. So, yeah, Jair Hill, big year for him, potentially an all Big Ten caliber corner for Michigan this season.
For sure, and has contributed so many. He did have 3 tackles against Alabama, 2 solo tackles at Ohio State. He made overall for his sophomore year 35 tackles, and a sack, 9 pass breakups, and we all remember the interception. So he has done a great. He has kind of come into his own, over this last year. Backing him up, we've got 3 players here: Ricky Johnson, Josiah Edmond, and Shamari Earls. And I will say that I watch out for Shamari Earls to potentially maybe move up a little bit. Depending on how they do in spring, fall, and throughout the season. But this is where we have it for game 1.
So Ricky Johnson has the nod due to seniority, but I mean Josiah Edmonds, another player that Michigan's very high on. An elite prospect coming out of high school. He's another one who can make a move. Shamari Earls, Josiah Edmond, we're expecting big years out of them. So we'll just have to see how spring ball goes and how the depth chart changes.
For sure. On the other side, for the second cornerback, we have Zeke Berry as the starter. Zeke Berry, another one that had to step up and play his best ball late. Obviously had some pretty remarkable amount of, he was kind of a big part of the USC game with a career high 5 tackles in the USC game, as well as 4 solo tackles in that game. All Big Ten, honorable mention. And he's kind of moved around a little bit. He's had some 7 starts at nickel, but he also had some at outside corner. And 37 tackles, 2.5 for loss, 11 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. So he has been an impact player, and I think is the definitive starter at the second cornerback position.
No doubt. Zeke Berry has proved that he is now the man on the outside. All indications are that's his job, and he's not losing it. He's not moving back to nickel. He will be the outside corner for Michigan, and he earned it. I mean, he played at an all Big Ten caliber level towards the end of the year as well. I mean, he understands the system. We run some man, and he executed, man. He just played at a gret level. And then, John, to look at, the kind of the depth behind him, Caleb Anderson, the player that is familiar with Lamar Morgan from Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and he's coming in here. We got Keyshawn Harris, who I believe is a former walk-on, and then Tevis Metcalf, who I'm high on, along with Jaden Sanders. Definitely excellent young developmental players who are on the back end of this defense. It's a pretty strong room, man. The outside cornerback position is pretty healthy from not only starting level but future development.
Absolutely. And for those who are asking, well, wait, isn't Zeke Berry the nickel? Well, guess who we think is probably going to come back and be the nickel? It might be Rod Moore. And it is a battle that we are watching very carefully. He was obviously out last year with injury, but he will be contending, and I think he's going to beat out Jaden McBurrows, but we have both of them as potential starters. But I think Rod Moore is going to take that job back. But you never know with injury, which is why we've got it as kind of a question mark. What do you kind of say about that situation as Rod Moore comes back to the team?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's Rod Moore, and I know we don't have Brandon Hillman here. I know we got him at safety. I mean, it's just it's kind of interchangeable. It's gonna be interesting to see who they put here. Is Jaden McBurrows ready? I mean, he has played. He had a role last year on the defense. Is he ready to be the guy? It's hard to call right now. So it's a position where there's definitely a battle. We're gonna find out who's gonna be the man and nickel. But I mean, if Rod Moore's starting somewhere, whether it's safety or nickel, right? Who's gonna start in the opposite spot? Right. So if Rod Moore's nickel, then it's probably gonna be Brandon Hillman at the safety spot. If Rod Moore's playing safety, then it's gonna be up for Jaden McBurrows and possibly Brandon Hillman there. It's gonna be another interesting battle, John, but definitely a battle that we will be watching all through spring camp.
Yep, for sure. And then obviously for backups, Jeremiah Lowe and Keona Winston as the backups right now. But again, a lot of this is fluid.
Yeah, but again, excellent depth on the back end. Keona Winston, top 100 player, Brian Branch Jr.-esque, probably seeing the field sooner or later, probably playing on the field on special teams as a freshman. Yeah, I mean, again, and listen, Lamar Morgan has done a hell of a job between recruiting and transfer portal in just 1 year. Excellent job for just stocking the cupboards with talent.
Absolutely. So we've got, and we will next week, we'll cover safeties, linebackers. We'll kind of hit some more of these as we continue through the defense. But we do